What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Dylan Mathews back at it again with another hometown take. Today you see it, I'm talking about the Atlanta Falcons, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys some early training camp battles to look out for. I know we got a little minute till training camp, but it's never too early to talk about training camp battles, right? So we're gonna go ahead and get right into that, but before, we gotta handle some business. So make sure you like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, check out the link down below to buy me a coffee to help fuel this channel, help fuel the Atlanta Falcons to a great rest of their off season. It's been pretty good so far, and I'm feeling like optimistically okay about the Falcons this season. I think we'll be anywhere from like 4 to maybe 7 wins, and that's straight. That's straight for this season. We know the roster isn't that good, but as long as I see a little progress from the rooks that get playing time, I'll be all right. But anywho, let's go ahead and get right into today's video. So like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bells as well so you get my content as soon as I drop it. You can be the first to watch, comment, all that good stuff. So make sure your notification bells all are turned on, and like I said, buy me a coffee if you can. All right, what training camp battles should we look out for the Atlanta Falcons this season? Well, I guess I shouldn't say this season, but before this season, but it technically is this season. You guys know what I mean. Anywho, here are some training camp battles to look out for. I've got a few on my list here. Number 1, obviously the biggest one, Marcus Mariota versus Desmond Ridder. Rookie quarterback versus veteran quarterback who is trying to find his way in the NFL again. Has another opportunity to start versus the Rook, who has a chip on his shoulder, and he's trying to make some things shake too, get his NFL career started right. I think it is Marcus Mariota's job to lose. I think Marcus Mariota has the pole position when it comes to the quarterback competition. Now, Arthur Smith, offensive coordinator Dave Ragone, they both have said that there is an open competition when it comes to the quarterback spot. However, I do think that competition is sided more with Marcus Mariota right now. I do think it's Mariota's job to lose. It's probably like 70-30 right now, or maybe 75-25 when it comes to, who's the favorite to be QB1 versus Mariota and Desmond Ridder. So I think it's Mariota's job to lose. If you had to ask me, in my heart of hearts and guts of guts, I think Mariota is going to be the day 1 starter. But Desmond Ridder will get some playing time this year, I have to think. If he doesn't get any playing time, I won't be mad because his offensive line is so bad. I don't really want to mess up Desmond Ridder's mental early on because his O-line is so bad. And we got some O-line training camp battles we'll have to look at to hopefully make this offensive line not so bad. So we'll talk about those here in just a second. But to put a bow on Marcus Mariota versus Desmond Ridder, if Desmond Ridder comes out and just completely wows Dave Ragone and wows Arthur Smith and wows the team and really, commands the huddle and it shows that leadership, which he has that leadership right now, but, having to, comprehend and learn this whole Arthur Smith offense that isn't necessarily easy. I mean, no NFL offense is easy to learn. But having to do that, I just think he's going to be behind the 8 ball, especially when it comes to Marcus Mariota, who was with Arthur Smith, was in an Arthur Smith system, did start for Arthur Smith. He's going to be behind the 8 ball. So Marcus Mariota already knows the system. He already knows the offense pretty much. So Desmond Ridder's just behind the 8 ball. There are just too many things going against Desmond Ridder, I think, for him to be the starting quarterback when it comes to week 1. Now, I think he, like I said, will get some playing time. If he starts at any of the season, is left to be seen. We'll see. Mariota could get hurt, God forbid, but he definitely could, especially given his history. So we'll see. But training camp battle, number 1 to look out for, obviously, the quarterback position, Marcus Mariota versus Desmond Ridder. Moving on. The wide receiver room is going to be very interesting. We pretty much overhauled the whole wide receiver room. The only wide receiver left is Olamide Zaccheaus. So, Geronimo Allison versus Brian Edwards versus Auden Tate versus Damari Byrd versus Kadero Hodge. Now, when it comes to Damari Byrd and Kadero Hodge, they'll be lower on the list. Obviously, Drake London is pretty much going to be wide receiver 1, pretty much starting out, I think. We'll see. But, you drafted him 8th overall. He's going to start. He's going to be on this roster. So, I'm not concerned about Drake London at all. But you have three big receivers in Geronimo Allison, not Damiere Byrd, Brian Edwards, and Auden Tate. All 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" dudes. Who's going to come up and maybe show that he can be wide receiver number 2? You know, like Olamide Zaccheaus obviously is going to be high up on the roster, but he's like more of a mini slot guy. And I think, you know, Arthur Smith, he's obviously shown, him and Dave Ragone have shown they want big wide receivers. So is it going to be Auden Tate? Is it going to be Brian Edwards? You know, he's coming into his 3rd year. What is he going to do? Auden Tate, still young, drafted in 2018. What is he going to do? Is he going to be able to stay healthy? Can he take over? You know, he started to have a pretty good year in Cincinnati before he got hurt last year. Geronimo Allison, you know, he's been kind of flying under the radar. He's been with Aaron Rodgers, caught some touchdown passes here and there. But how much will his productivity be in a new place when he maybe has a chance to flourish, just like Brian Edwards or Auden Tate? So which one of those big receivers is going to set themselves apart and really truly be a difference maker on this Atlanta Falcons team? Also, like I said, lower level of that is Damiere Byrd versus Cordero Hodge. Those are two like kind of smaller receivers, both I think 5'10", 5'11". They'll kind of be like the backup to what Olamide Zaccheaus is going to be for us, a speedy slot guy. So there you go. Another battle to look out for. Keeping it pushing. Jermaine Ifedi versus Jalen Mayfield versus Caleb McGarry versus Matt Hennessy versus Colby Gossett versus Justin Schaefer. You get what I'm going at. The only two safe positions on this Falcons offensive line is Chris Lindstrom at right guard and Jake Mathews at left tackle. Anywhere else, it is wide open, I think. Justin Schaefer could easily take that open left guard position. Jalen Mayfield could lose his spot to Jermaine Ifedi. Like I said, he could lose it to Justin Schaefer. Maybe they put Jalen Mayfield at right tackle. They try him at right tackle, and maybe Caleb McGarry gets moved on the inside, and he gets moved to left guard, and they swap like that. Or any of these other combinations. Colby Gossett did play in all 14 games, started a game for the Falcons last year. The Falcons re-signed him to a 1-year deal, so we'll see what happens. But Jermaine Ifedi could be at left guard. Jalen Mayfield could stay at left guard. Caleb McGarry could move over to left guard, and they moved Jalen Mayfield to right tackle. His natural position, that's what he was playing in Michigan. Matt Hennessy could be moved off, but he's probably going to stay at center. He's got the most reps at center. I don't really know any other centers on this roster. Colby Gossett could be that left guard. Justin Schaefer, like I said, could be that left guard. So there's a whole bunch of missing and matching and swapping that could go on that offensive line. Whichever one gives us the best chance to win, that's the one I'll go with. But wide open competition when it comes to left guard, center, and right tackle for the Falcons offensive line. So just look out for the Falcons offensive line all together during training camp. Another interesting one, Deion Jones versus Troy Anderson. What's going to happen with that matchup? Deion Jones, obviously, you know, Deion Jones, and this will be a separate video, but Deion Jones might not even be on this roster past, June 1st. He might be a June 1st cut. We'll see. But Troy Anderson, Arthur Smith said he's going to play inside linebacker. Deion Jones obviously plays inside linebacker. Is Deion Jones going to be more of just a third down linebacker to throw back in coverage while Troy Anderson plays the run on first and second down? I don't know. With the money Deion Jones is making, is he going to take a pay cut, or are they just going to cut him? Because if you're only good to be a third down linebacker right now because you simply can't be put in run plays because you get blown up by any offensive lineman that gets to you, you're not as useful on this team. And I think just like the Falcons offense, Falcons defense wants to get bigger, stronger with Rashaan Evans, Troy Anderson, Lorenzo Carter. They see D'Angelo Malone. I know Carter and Malone are more like pass rushers, but still, they're getting bigger. They're trying to get more physical on the defensive side of the football too. And Deion Jones being a smaller linebacker, I just don't know if he's going to last versus Troy Anderson, especially if Troy Anderson picks up on things quickly. We'll see. Deion Jones probably starts. If Deion Jones isn't cut June 1st, I'll put it like this. If he's not cut by June 1st, he's probably going to start for this football team. How long? I don't know. Depends on the growth and development of Troy Anderson, but we'll see. That, though, is an interesting matchup to look out for. Deion Jones versus Troy Anderson. Inside linebacker versus inside linebacker. Troy Anderson is bigger. He can play the run. He can play the pass. What's he going to do? He's also got good sideline speed, ran a very good 40, so he's fast, too. He's everything Deion Jones is, plus he's bigger and stronger. So we'll see. Deion Jones versus Troy Anderson. Watch out for that. Lastly, who's going to win the running back 2 position? We know Cordell Patterson is RB1. But between Damian Williams, Tyler Algier, the rookie out of BYU, and Quadri Allison, who's been around for a minute, they just signed him to a 1-year deal. I think this is a prove-it year for Quadri Allison, especially if he wants to stay on the Falcons. Who's going to take over that running back 2 position? I really do think they like Quadri Allison. I think right now, if we had to say it, if we had to give out a depth chart, he's probably RB2 behind Cordell Patterson, just because they like his physicality, his downhill running, his ability to, really hit the hole hard between the tackles. But, Damian Williams, he has shown a burst and flash of being able to be productive while he's with the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, had the big Super Bowl game. And then Tyler Algier, they really, really are high on Tyler Algier. And I mean, of course, they're going to say that, but he could be a second coming of Michael the Burner Turner, He could hit the hole hard and then zoom, skedaddle out of there once he gets some open space. So I think who comes away with that running back 2 position is going to be very interesting as we move along through training camp. So that'll be another one to look out for. Like I said, I think Quadri Allison has a slight advantage right now, already knowing the system, being still a good physical downhill runner, but be on the lookout for Tyler Algier, and there's an outside chance Damian Williams comes out of there as RB2 as well. So those are some training camp battles to look out for. Again, Marcus Mariota versus Desmond Ridder, Geronimo Allison versus Brian Edwards and Auden Tate, and then Damari Bird versus Kadera Hodge when it comes to the wide receiver core. Jermaine Ifedi versus Jalen Mayfield and Caleb McGarry and Matt Hennessy and Colby Gossett and Justin Schaefer. When it comes to the offensive line, it's wide open all there. When it comes to left guard, center, and right tackle, Deion Jones versus Troy Anderson when it comes to inside linebacker position. And when it comes to who's going to be RB2, watch out for Damian Williams, Tyler Algier, and Quadri Allison. So a lot of battles to look out for this Atlanta Falcons season. Arthur Smith has said there's competition everywhere on this roster, and they like that about this team. So we'll see what guys come out on top. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Also, make sure you like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, check out the links down below. This channel help fuel the Atlanta Falcons through a great rest of their offseason. And until I talk to you guys next time, make sure you stay true to Atlanta, believe in Atlanta, go Falcons. Peace.